Nikos Chronakis. I have been warned not to disturb him before he has had his morning coffee. It's past midday, so I assume he's already had it. Are you Mr. Nikos Chronakis?
I am.
Pleasure, I am Stalomitidou.
My pleasure.
You teach at the University of Cyprus in the Department of Chemistry.
Right.
Can I play a trick on you?
Sure.
Since everything in our lives has two sides, am I right to assume that this ball here is not just a football?
This here is a ball, of course, but what you don't know is that there's another very much smaller ball which we can see neither with a naked eye nor with a microscope. It's called carbon-60.
So let's play ball.
The subject of my research is a molecule that was discovered in 1985. And it looks like this ball we all know since we were kids. It's only much smaller. It's called carbon-60. It was discovered in very small quantities. In short, it's called C60. Nobody could have ever imagined, of course, that this molecule would be isolated. It is perhaps the first molecule that engaged the attention of all sciences, physics, chemistry, biology, and material engineering. Even philosophy dealt with a molecule of carbon. The first thing we notice about this football-like molecule, like this, is its symmetry. This symmetry is based on the icosahedron. It results in a very symmetric molecule. I'd like to talk a bit about this symmetry. The way ancient Greeks perceived this symmetry is very interesting. For them, icosahedral symmetry symbolized the universe. So when a molecule with this kind of symmetry was discovered, it was realized that they had to deal with something wiser, a broader intellect. It's one of the so-called Platonic shapes, which symbolized the elements of nature at that time. For example, the cube symbolized water, etc. This might be the way Plato's chemistry began. And one of these 5 Platonic shapes was the icosahedron, and it looked just like this ball. Now, the kind of symmetry we see in the football, with the array of pentagons and hexagons, was first seen in these solid structures of Archimedes, 13 in all. So this, in short, is a history of the icosahedron and what it symbolized. Some chemists found a way to use this molecule, and this links chemistry with philosophy, which in itself is science. So the discovery of this molecule signaled a revolution in chemistry. All branches of science began studying the molecule and all its probable applications in the future. The molecule of carbon-60 belongs to a group of closed-shape molecules known as fullerenia. On each corner here we have an atom of carbon. This is the 3rd allotrope of carbon, along with graphite, the common writing pencil, and diamond. Here you can see graphite, the second one being diamond, and the third one, fullerenia. This is a molecule that cannot be dissolved in water. In order for chemists to be able to study it, they have to make it soluble in water. So the difference between this fullerenium molecule and graphite, or diamond, is that one can do chemical reactions on its surface, as we're talking about an active molecule. One can decorate the fullerenium atom with various groups of chemicals. During the first 5 years of study, thousands of articles were published which described ways to decorate this molecule with other chemicals. Coming back to the subject of my research, I deal with this decoration and I aim to produce combinations with molecules which are considered to act as antioxidants. One of the companies I work with has already begun studying the effect of such combinations in diseases like Alzheimer's. As an organic chemist, my job is to create a specific molecule. Now, This molecule has many important applications which have to do with serious diseases. For example, HIV. In 1992, it was discovered that a derivative of fullerenium can be absorbed on the DNA molecule. After irradiating this derivative, it becomes able to break the DNA chain at a specific point. Therefore, a lot of C60 derivatives were tested in this reaction. It's very important, as all biologists know, to be able to break the DNA chain at specific points. The study still goes on in order to create derivatives which are water-soluble and thus used in experiments that show its effect on DNA. We're talking about real experiments. This is more or less how I got interested in working with fullerenium. This is a molecule on which a chemist can bind other molecules in all 3 dimensions. It's difficult to find such molecules in chemistry. My work deals with a particular kind of fullerenium called inherently chiral. Now, let's see what we mean when we call a molecule chiral. So, what is a chiral molecule? It's just like our 2 hands. 2 molecules are chiral when they're related to each other in the same way our hands are related to each other. One hand is not the same as the other. They cannot be superimposed, for example. If we place a mirror in front of one hand, however, the image in the mirror will be the same as our other hand. So these 2 structures are chiral. Many chemicals in our body are chiral. Nature always is more selective towards one of the 2. These molecules are called enantiomers and are distinguished as R and S. We have R and S. Enantiomerism is very important in pharmaceuticals, for example. One enantiomer can be a medicine, while the other can be poisonous. So we have to develop ways to produce one instead of the other, just like nature does. And this is not easy. We're trying to help on this process using the molecule of C60 as a mold.
Our day ends in the professor's kitchen. Working so much, what do you do to rest and relax?
In the little spare time I have at night when I come back from work, cooking is what relaxes me most. I love the Mediterranean cuisine and I cook very often. So today, if you'll allow me, we'll make one of my favorite recipes. Cuttlefish with spinach. I also like to listen to music. When I'm at home, I always listen to music. These are the few things which make me relax after a busy day. Stella, want some?